Hi everybody, it's Marivi here from marivsays, and today I have a video for you that I've been waiting to film since October and it's a story that I want to share with you guys because it can be helpful to others, it can be interesting to some, and I wanted to put my story out there too because I know that when I was going through this, I looked up a lot of videos and they did help me clear my mind a little bit, so here it is. So by the title, you could kind of guess that yes, I am transferring schools, and I wanted to explain a little how I came about that decision and to what school I'm transferring to. I thought it would be a good video. Like I said, I looked to a lot of videos just for help in general, and I think it's also an interesting story that you would want to know because I feel like you don't hear of a lot of transfers, but there actually is a lot of transfers going on, so I think it's pretty cool to put it out there. First, I want to start off by saying that the school that I'm transferring from, which is UCF, is such a good school. I just didn't find my place there, and that can happen to anybody, but I want nothing to come out as against to UCF because I'm very grateful to have gone there. It gave me my first year of college, and like I said, it's a great school. I just didn't find my place there, and it tends to happen. So to begin with, I'm not gonna reveal the school just straight off. I'm gonna say it during the story. So basically, I chose UCF first of all because I didn't really apply to any other school in Florida that really interested me. I just applied for safety, and I ended up going to UCF because, like I said, I didn't have another choice. I thought, Orlando, that's a good city. It's a big city. There's a lot of opportunity there, and I'd end up liking it. I was always excited to go off to college. However, I didn't find myself being excited to go to the place that I was going to go to. I just figured everyone was feeling the same thing, and I figured that I would like it when I got there because everyone likes UCF. So the summer was fun. I moved in. I was so excited. And then I explained in my fall review video, I realized that I wasn't making as friends like I thought it would be. So at first that hurt me. Typical. You don't know a lot of people, you move away from home. I was really sad about that. I was really sad because I lost friends. It was a lot of emotions going on. So one day in October, like I said, I decided, I was just like, you know what? I came here to study, so let me look into my major. So I had applied as a film major because I couldn't find their media studies major. So I figured I'd find it once I was there and once I knew more about the school. So I started looking into my film major and I realized, this is not what I was looking for. This is not what I expected to study. I went to advising, I went to counselors, I went to the film orientation, I went to so many things to try and really figure out what this was, and then I realized, okay, this isn't what I was looking for. So there, when I'm at advising, I tell them, I'm like, listen, I want to do something with communications, with media studies, where is this major? And they were like, well, we have this, we have this, we have that, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm telling you, I'm looking for this. And they were like, oh, we don't have that. And I'm like, oh. That's when I was like, okay, so I went to my dorm and I looked it up again, and no, they don't have the major that I was looking for, but they just had a more broad type thing, and I knew my major existed, so I was like, this is weird. So I went online and I was like, okay, let me look for best communications and media studies schools in Florida, and so it was a list of the top 5, and I narrowed it down to the number 1 school. 1, because it was number 1. 2, most of them were private, and that's really, really expensive, and all of my scholarships personally go to public institutions. And another one that was public, I just didn't choose it because it was really close to home, and I've mentioned before, I'm very family oriented and I love coming home, but I didn't think a good move for me personally was to come back home. So the number 1 school that I saw was Florida State University. First I sat there and I said, wow, are you kidding me? Because I had never visited that school. I didn't know much about that school. I didn't even apply to that school to begin with. I just kind of disregarded it. Like I said in my college videos, I wanted to go out of state, so I never really looked into a lot of in-state schools. And it's funny because I would have never imagined myself in that school just because from what I hear and things like that. So I was like, well, this is really weird. I started looking into it. I looked into the major. I called advising. I called the major school, and I was like, wow, this is like, I think this is pretty legit. This is exactly what I've been looking for. When I found out, I was like, well, maybe I should transfer. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm not one to like change a lot, and so that was one thing. And then the other thing was telling my parents and my family, just because we're not from here, we're not from the US, so they're not really familiarized with the college process here. So I was really scared to tell them, just because we had done so much just to come to this school, and I didn't know how they would react when I told them, hey, I'm not in the right place. So I was a little scared at first. I was very hesitant to tell them, and I kind of just started dropping hints here or there until one day they finally got it, and they were really, really mad at me because they just didn't know how to react. And I didn't take it personal because I understood that it was big news, and you wouldn't really expect that from your daughter who just got to college and you're happy about it. But then over the time, I explained more to them. I explained to them everything I was doing to try and go there, my application, making sure everything transfers, what I'm doing to transfer, things like that, when I would transfer. I waited to transfer for the fall just because I didn't want to transfer mid-year, and also I want to finish a couple credits before I go, just so it's an easier process to transfer. Finally, today, we're a lot better with the decision. I know, and I can tell you that I'm very, very happy. I visited FSU for the first time in February, and I fell in love with that school. I think UCF's campus is beautiful. It's very modern, but FSU is more traditional, and it was weird because I didn't know that I would have preferred the traditional look over the modern look. So that's another thing I learned about myself, but I definitely felt something that I didn't feel when I first saw UCF. And that's why I've mentioned that when you're going to schools and when you're applying to schools and when you get in, I say that you should visit the school to see how you feel, because it sounds so cliche, but it's true. I think you do have this feeling when you're in the right place. And I think it's important to know where you have it, right? So that you can go to the right place. So I've been twice after that, and I love it. I have so much fun there. I know a couple people. I'm excited to meet new people. And I'm just so excited for everything this time around. And it's definitely not something I felt last year. And it was hard to notice because, like I said, I didn't know what to expect. But now I do, and I'm happy about that. And I hope that whether you're applying or whether you're thinking of transferring, I hope that this video helps you realize some of those things, because I really didn't. And again, I made this YouTube channel to help you out there, because I think it's important to end up in a place that you like and that you can get the most out of, right? I really, really hope you can get something out of this. And, side subject, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I really, really tried at UCF. I joined clubs, I got a part-time job, and I enjoyed myself so, so much. But I knew that, I'm here for my major, and if it's not well developed here, then why would I stay? I'd rather go somewhere where, they know what they're doing for that certain area. UCF is great for other things. That's not my career focus. That's not what I want to focus on. But, they're both great schools, just they both have their weaknesses and their strengths, just like everything. So thank you, UCF, for my year. I learned so much. I cried, I laughed, I had fun times, I had bad times, and that's just a part of life. This year was honestly a roller coaster, and I didn't have the same experience as many other people, but I could not be more happy. And hey, it turned out this way for me, and it's fine. We all have a plan. And as long as you work for it, it'll happen to you. You know that saying, the good things come to those who wait? Well, I think it's come to those who wait and come to those who work for it. You need to work for it to get it to you. You can't just sit there and do nothing. No, you gotta put in the work. Thank you for watching. I would love to do a video explaining the application process or the transfer process in general, because now I've been through that, and like I said, I'd love to help people with that. If you have any questions, any comments, please comment them down below. Give this a like. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell just so you know when I upload more videos this summer. This summer should be a hopefully video packed summer, so I'm very, very excited for that. And I'm so excited to take you along my FSU adventure now. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you for listening.